everybody. Welcome to Speed Racing on Speedgaming. And to answer chat's question already, it is not me who rolled this seed. Pleco
It was me.
rolled this seed. So before you get your blames out, because of the funky hash, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But what I can be happy to tell you is that you are here to bear witness to one heck of a Slavanaka between two juggernauts in the SMB3R community. On your left side, you've got one of the living legends, the master of the Door 3 Strat himself, and Hundo Master TEEX88 going against the Suomi sensational legend himself, most dangerous man in Finland, japezu. So, Pleco, I am super duper stoked because the winner of this match will duke it out with the Warden, Danny P. Speed.
Yes, and that is going to be one heck of a match. But not to say that the other side won't be, because I heard some rumors that MIDI Guy is going to be facing the loser of this one. So it's going to be a tough one no matter which way you go.
I know, and to start it off, they are an escalator fort, and TEEX is known for power stratting through, but they gave him a star, and that's actually very dangerous for someone who goes as fast as TEEX.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, japezu starting off with the power-up, but TEEX deciding not to.
You
And
know,
of course,
I'll be
right away.
I will be honest with you, Pleco. I always get debated by that power up because I always end up falling in the ragu. I mean, it's a good orthopedic bath, but not exactly friendly on your life count. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. It took me quite a long time to really do that properly, and even then, you can still if you wait just way too long, just maybe that one extra half second, and yeah, you're taking that dip.
And can we talk about TEEX's swagalicious capital H jump right there?
That was absolutely fantastic.
Wow, when you can go that fast that you just blaze through everything, and now we're in the World 7 Piranha stage, so far TEEX is being unstoppable.
Ooh.
But that gatekeeping Patili has something to say about it.
Yeah, and as chat is saying, definitely a very free World 7. This is definitely what you want to see as a player, but not what we want to see as commentators and watchers.
Yeah,
we want to see some pain.
Especially when, there's a possibility with the forts they skip to be the one and only greatest place on Earth, Disney World, aka 7F2. You can't dodge that. You gotta have some 7F2 action.
Oh, definitely. And hopefully it's going to be one of our forest forts, because that one is going to be the greatest fort. And looks like we have a heavy Ludwig. Only, I think, what, a 2-hitter? Not too bad.
It's a 2-hitting earthquakey Ludwig, and TEEX was going to go for the fire kill, but I think the stomp kill is a little bit quicker.
Yeah, especially when it's only a couple hits, but I do also believe that TEEX was more expecting, I think, the high jump over the low heavy jump, which did cost him a fire flower.
Yeah, that, Ludwig and Roy are known, and Iggy, are known for being high basketball jumpers. And it's very painful when that happens to you and you're not expecting it. But you know what is good to see? Our favorite water fort, 3F2.
Yeah, this is very interesting, because we are still in reverse world order. This is a 3-forter right off the bat.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong. But Boom Boom, our innocent little angel, was only a one hitter in 3F2, so that is some sad Vanderbilt. But will this be a case of see a fort, play a fort? And I'm glad that they took the top path.
Ooh. Well, see, they only could take the top path because both paths are actually locked.
Oh, so the second, so
Mhm.
7F2 is required. Ah, the CE, the stars have aligned, and it is so you can enjoy Disney World, the happiest place on earth, aka the fort of love and happiness. You gotta love it.
And once again, power ups continuing to be stars, very Canadian filled.
You're paying homage to your compatriot extraordinaire, Tazzle, with all the stars.
And looks like that third fort is going to be the one that they can skip. So this was 7F2 was definitely a required fort, or so we
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I see it now. I didn't see the lock the first time. But to be able to enjoy it straight out the gate, that's how you know you get your 3F2 and your 7F2. It is Happy Valley for everyone all around. You roll the seed for the people, Pleco.
Well, you got to share the good stuff, right? You got to make sure everyone
Absolutely.
has a good time. And how
And
else
Japan.
can people have a good time without 7F2?
Exactly. That is what I've been preaching for the longest time. Also, I love how Mario took the boomerang to the face, but that
Ooh,
is
hitting a
totally worth it.
cloud.
Yes, a Jugum cloud, and we know that Teeks is known for excellent inventory management. So we will see that cloud used, most
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So now we get to see where this goes. Will they have to play one more level? Or, yes, they have to play one more level. There's no freebie here in 6.
No, this is a very long 6. And it looks like the anchor is human mustard mode as we go into one of our blessed levels, the one and the only 6-6.
Fantastic. You love to see it. Not as a player, but definitely loving to see it right now.
Yes, we were worried about that free 7, but World 6 gang coming through in a pinch for everyone. Also, the anchor, did you see the anchor being used? And
It
it
was
is human mustard
debugged.
mode. And
Ooh, Teeks
speaking of
expertly navigating that as a small Mario.
small bean strats here, does jump over our friendly fish. And speaking of the Frogmaster himself, he will be coming up on almost 1,000 races, Pleco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what? Imagine, because I think he finished number 998 yesterday.
That is a lot of races.
I don't even know if I could even come close to that. But man, it is such a good feel to see the legends in action, throw some appreciation out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we should make sure his 1,000th race is a great one. Right, Pleco?
I think so. 100%. And especially letting
Yeah,
people know of the event. Maybe we can make a little party of it.
I think so. We can get some of the olden day racers if I can convince them. Hopefully, we could have a good old fashioned SMB3 channel race from a couple of years back, where it used to headline Human Mustard, Macobra. Back then, Danny P. Speed was known as DLP, and Dust. and we would have races like that, of that caliber, and Leslie was there. Oh man, that would be great. And japezu kissing one of the fire snakes
Yeah,
and having to.
unfortunately, not having a good time with that level. Teeks, though, getting a fantastic fire takedown, finishing up World 6, and we will see if the reverse world order continues.
We're getting some love in chat, Pleco. Buenos días, Tanhouse. Muchas gracias por los felicidades. And we are back with that hammer suit.
No reverse world order to continue this, but that hammer suit definitely feeling very good. And one fort popping out.
Bootleg fort. And you don't have a leaf right now. We're gonna check that. Nope.
No, just stars. But it looks like he's gonna be going for that that clip there. You know, no interest in having to go through that at all. He is just going to slide right on in and go say hello to Boom Boom.
Yeah, you know, that one fort clip is actually quite amazing because that is such a time saver. Yeah, especially if you can get it on the first try.
Even missing it a couple times, it seems like you are still well within the time frame, just because of how long it tends to take going through that whole thing. But no hammer for these runners yet, so he will have to go entirely around, so that's only a save of one level.
Yep, and look at that extra bounce to get the small H jump. And japezu hoping against hope he could have found it. But we have Teeks exiting out of 3-9 like nothing, Pleco.
Ooh, and that Boom Boom was just a one-hitter, so japezu definitely still being able to keep a, you know, a fair close range. You know, only a level between them right now.
Yeah, and all it takes is one bad level. And speaking of bad levels,
especially with the frog suit, this is not the kind of level that you want to see with a frog suit.
Like 6-7 is no joke on a normal day, but when you have a frog suit, that is just pain train supreme.
But dropping it there, definitely probably the best idea that you can have there, just to make sure that you're not going to mess up on those small little jumps on those little donuts.
Yeah, and you know, you remember in League when they had calibrated the donuts to fall faster. So, you know, those donuts are no joke at all.
Alright, and we're seeing yet another star. For those of you out there who are Tozzle fans, pop your Tozzle stars out.
Yes. And oh, baby! We are in Happy Stage USA.
Definitely a very nice, easy stage to just P-speed through. Teeks having a fantastic time here. And looks like japezu will be heading down and finding the level that Teeks would have liked to see with that frog suit.
Yes, but I think japezu is going to probably opt to go upstairs, and he will not regret that at all.
And definitely, judging by the reactions that we're seeing on his camera, he's definitely feeling a little bit of that frustration right now with some of the falls that he's taken with Mario.
You know, that's the one thing about SMB3 Rando, because it looks like one may have been a missed input. And, you know, this will eat your inputs like Pac-Man.
Oh, definitely.
And let's see, what ship our salty boy Morton Koopa Jr. is on. And it is the easiest airship of them all, the World 1 airship owned by Larry Koopa. Let's see if Morton can make it a little harder, and he doesn't.
Ooh, and japezu Japezu going to find that extra hammer bro, finding another cloud that Teeks will not have for this.
That can be a real game changer, because you know how double cloud
Definitely.
plays have, made the difference and caused many snipes. So that is a great find, Pleco.
Yeah, it's really hard to say now. I mean, they are still already very close together right now. There's just an airship between them. Airship and maybe just this level here. Get your salutes out, of course, for Air Force.
Yes, the hardest working military, everyone. You gotta give it
to
up.
Mushroom Sea.
Yes. You're flying the friendliest guys right now. You got the rocky wrenches. They're throwing love, Pleco. They're not throwing wrenches. They're throwing love, as if you are a member of the Average Joes from Dodgeball.
And we see immediately, yes, that is the play, but where is this pipe going to bring them? How much of World 4 will need to be played? And it looks like
quite a bit.
All of it.
Quite a bit. Oh, my.
Yeah, really only missing one level there, and not having to worry about the other fort. But this also could be where a double cloud play really comes in handy, and has Japezu basically, catch right up. Really
I would probably double cloud into a pipe situation, so that way I know that there's a potential that I may not bite the dust. Because when you play like me, it do happen. But if you run into like a hammer bro or a pipe or something that's easy to beat, then your double cloud is safe. But when you're double clouding into a level, it's a coin flip.
Because if that coin ship stays there and he knows it, it could easily be the perfect double cloud.
And we are about to
a hammer. And another cloud.
Which means that japezu will get 3 clouds, possibly.
Yes. Ooh, there's one of our clouds here for Teeks, just skipping on over.
And that's a very good play. Unless we see japezu play it, and it turns out to be a really quick level. And speaking of which, we're on the World 5 airship, guys. Roy Koopa's the airship to do battle with our bookworm Iggy.
So interestingly enough, with the worlds that we have left, World 5, World 1, and... yeah, that's... World 5, World 1, World 3... the only way that hammer is going to be relevant is if they get a second hammer. Potentially for World 3. Those other worlds do not have any hammer potential. We've already left our hammers back in the dust.
And japezu gets Angelic Jade's favorite item. It was the hand stage from World 8 that Teeks did skip over, so misses out on a cute suit. But
also a very quick level as well, so potentially not the greatest of clouds.
Yeah, that's the risk you take with blind clouding. And getting nipped in 1-1 is absolute pain on a stick.
Yeah, and it looks like this World 3 would have actually been pretty decent for a double hammer play, but no double hammer for either of these runners.
We love to see it. They don't, but we love to see it.
We tons of extra levels. Just play them all.
But japezu has 3 clouds.
Yes, so that could be really good. Triple
so we're probably going to see 2 of those clouds right into the fort for japezu. Because I think japezu knows he's behind.
Or at least checking into the pipe.
At the very, yeah. But here we go. As predicted.
2 and 3.
Yep.
And
We're
just
gonna
like that, japezu has technically
taking the
just caught
lead.
up and maybe even taken the lead.
Yeah,
It
because
really
he does
depends on
have
how
the
these go.
fire flower. And
Mm-hmm.
Teek's taking that tail is gonna slow him down P-speed wise, but he gave it up. So we have
Oh, and
japezu being
almost
the
getting that
first
clip.
one. So japezu is ahead by about maybe 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's a very, very small lead, but just those 3 clouds has managed to pull that lead together. So
Yeah.
now we're gonna see what these other pipes can do. Where are we going? Is this going to be an easy Wendy, or are we looking at something a little bit more complicated?
Okay, so
Oh, and
Teeks
Teeks.
chose correctly,
Yes. Oh my
but
goodness. But
takes a
Teeks
little
returning.
extra time to get the P-wing. So japezu is gonna have the advantage slightly in terms of fast.
But Teeks does have the. Oh, yep.
Off-screen one grab.
Yes.
But is it enough? Because I can still see some neck. And
Very
you
hard
know,
to
this
tell.
game is temperamental. And he did not.
Oh,
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 he
he
did get it.
did.
Phew!
Yeah, so
Phew!
Teeks keeping that lead, but now these two runners are neck and neck.
Yes. And we have some fantasy island action going on. Look, boss, the plane, the plane.
And
And we
another.
get another froggy suit.
Ooh, and here we have a World 1 a little bit longer. You know, looks like potentially they may have to play both forts, depending on what the first fort is looking like.
Yeah. So their hope is going to be that the first fort is what's going to be the winner.
Mm-hmm.
And Teeks now going to have to be a little more cautious, as he does have 2 stars, because fanfare will affect his lead.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and an excellent flight here.
Yes, this was well played on the side of
And
Teeks.
japezu as well, also getting fantastic flight here, but keeping the tail.
Maybe he's anticipating that the next fort is going to be 7F1.
Ooh,
And
yes.
if that is the case, that will be a huge difference that we don't have to worry about.
We don't at least have to worry about it here, but it could still be in World 5.
Yeah, I think Teeks though has another item that'll take care of that. And we are going to see the item grab in 1-3 by Teeks.
Ooh, yeah.
japezu opting not to go for it. So this, let's see which was
be
the
another cloud. Oh, it's another hammer. Unfortunately, absolutely useless to these runners, as basically hammers will do nothing from here on out.
And I think Teeks was thinking Teeks may have opted to use his cloud there, but he's moving fast enough that it doesn't really make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So he's right on. Despite getting the item, he is still on the tail.
Hot on his heels. Ooh, and Teeks opting to play this.
Risky gamble.
And another hammer.
That is not what he was hoping for. You can
No,
see the
not at
disappointment
all.
in his face, because you do not want to give japezu any type of a time, advantage, because he will take it.
Oh, and you can see by Teeks' reaction there immediately that his input for the A button got eaten. took some damage there.
Yep. I told you, this eats your inputs like Pac-Man. Waka 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 waka. So we have maybe about 4-second difference between japezu and TEEX.
Yes, something that definitely can be made up in World 8, but still something that you do not want.
So TEEX does have, and we are going to 7-4. You know,
we have a forced twisty.
That's absolutely horrible.
I mean, it's fantastic for us, but for these runners, having to do that forced twisty is definitely not what you want.
No, because not only does it take a fair amount of time to complete, you know, it's just not one of my favorites because it just exhausts you just to do it. If you can have a pipe, that's always a better way to do it.
Now, I personally don't mind the twisty. I mean, as a runner, I don't care for it, but as a, you know, as a vanilla player, just enjoying the game, I love the twisty.
Really? Well, you know my feelings on World 5, period, down to even the boss. I mean, World 5 is not my friend. I always Billy Martin a hat and throw it down. So.
Ooh, and TEEX clouding over it, going right in. So these runners now perfectly 1-1.
I would say that
TEEX
there's like
taking
maybe
the
a half a
lead.
second to 1 second lead by TEEX.
Oh my goodness.
So this is going to come down to execution 100% because both of these runners are capable of going super duper fast and super duper, you know, aggressive. And it will be fun to see how they play the rest of this out.
Well, definitely. They have very tight controls. They have a lot of game knowledge. They're very familiar with everything. Ooh.
Oh yeah, this is like Clash of the Nations Part 2. You know, because TEEX represented the United States and japezu represented Finland with our favorite American hero, the one and only.
Ooh, and it looks like the sky is not going to be too bad for them. Just having to do a couple levels. TEEX looks like he's just planning a route out right now. japezu staying ahead, but TEEX getting second try.
So he did get it a little bit quicker than japezu. And japezu is about to get locked into the coin ship.
Which TEEX will not have to worry about, keeping that lead.
Yep.
And it's
a little bit of RNGs are stepping in for TEEX right now.
Yep. It's definitely wild just how things like that can really affect the game, where it's like you're ahead, but then you fall behind just because of one thing that you can't control.
Yeah, it's beyond your control. Because they're literally, you know, because japezu had maybe about a half a second to 1 second lead over TEEX. So all it takes is one variable, just one little variable, and that's it. And we are in World 2 Spikefort.
He's showing off some fantastic P-speed play. And since these runners can definitely get there and finish up very quickly, we might as well just start this off right now to give people a little bit of extra time to think about what they want. As far as how many bridges in World 8?
Well, I always roll with -1. Angelic Jade is here in spirit who would say 4 bridges. How about you, Pleco?
I'm gonna go with 4. I still want 4 to be real. I keep thinking that, you know, it's actually just some kind of, you know, weird conspiracy theory. You know, there's actually no 4, but I want to believe. I want to believe in 4.
I believe in -1 and I get disappointed every time. That's what makes life interesting. And 3-7,
Ooh, and
and
both
that
seem
dodge
to
by
managing to dodge.
japezu.
So we'll see if he goes up into the sky. Nope, both runners opting not to go for the item in the sky.
You know, imagine going so fast you outrun Boss Bass.
And that's the faster boss pass too. Like, that's not just the normal boss pass.
Yeah, like Boss Bass is there, and he was just literally side by side, and I think he was in the sweet spot. Gets the first class clip. japezu is on a mission right now, and that
Mm-hmm.
mission is to take out TEEX88. But let's see if Roy has anything to say about it. And with that fire kill, you know what I'm gonna call him.
He is
But I
a
call
bum.
yes, I call him that when he's a
BUM
five
bum.
hitter.
Oh no, I agree with that. 100%.
Yes, Roy is the nemesis
So
of yours
immediately,
truly.
those of us who believe in the Four Bridgers are, of course, completely destroyed. It looks like it is just one bridge they are looking for. And we will see what that is.
So congratulations to the real Matep who got the one guess. The rest of us are in sad panda land, especially Nanaha, you know, who believed with me in -1, but japezu is in Gatekeep Fort.
Yes. So it's gonna be very interesting to see which runner is going to be correct. Teek's running back
Yes, because
quickly to go and check his choice, and has made the correct choice. It has been the Navy.
woo. And you know, usually, according to the memes, Gatekeep Fort is usually always the answer.
Yeah, it's
But
very interesting that it wasn't this time. That Navy did open up the way. So sometimes that's just the way it is. So japezu will definitely not be happy learning that. But we'll have to go and find the
yep, because
next
you can
way.
see the lock breaking right there in Dark World.
And
So
Teeks, and definitely as our good pal Sinister Sama would scream out, it is Velveeta.
yes, getting that mac and cheese smooth criminal clip. Meanwhile, japezu is still Dorothy exploring, but will be coming across the answer right now. And using the cute suit.
And just like that, with an official race time, 31 minutes, 40 seconds, Teeks is first place in game 1.
Yep, and
I think I see him, japezu, look over and see that kind of light smile of like, yep. All it is just the wrong fort, and he's gonna see that immediately when he goes and checks this. He's gonna see like, yep, that's what cost him. Because it was very close.
yeah, it was.
There's that nod, I see it, yep. So he's reacting immediately, he knows exactly what happened.
Yes, it was a combination of things, you know, and it basically came down to what World 8 is. And, you know, we may laugh about it, we may joke about it, but World 8 is truly the equalizer.
Oh, definitely. Anything can happen. It could be all forts together. It could be one fort is needed, 2 forts. You just need to find the right way.
Yeah, what
And
I wrote yesterday was all forts required.
And sometimes, too, it's even just clips like this.
And we have japezu. And here's where japezu may have had, you know, if they were neck and neck, would have been right here.
Unfortunately, yeah, because Teeks had gotten it first try, japezu had taken a couple. This definitely, if they were neck and neck, would have been the cause of distress in the end, so to say.
Yes,
But
because
hunting down Bowser, nice and
if
easy.
you can get it first try, can make or break a game. You know,
Oh, definitely.
and japezu has joined. Let me go ahead and accept him in the...
Yes, and with an official race time 33 minutes 49 seconds, japezu has finished up game 1, and we are going to go and get some folks prepared for our game 2. So for everyone out there,
I want
out
to
in the
accept
Twitch cyberspace.
japezu, but I cannot
Ooh,
accept
no, we are not
japezu.
moderators, so we will have to wait for Diesel to take a peek at that one. But in the
Oh,
meantime, I think
Diesel, if you can approve japezu.
yeah, Diesel, what the heck?
Yeah, normally I have that ability, to accept the request. Because Diesel has already yeeted himself out of the race room. Oh no. Okay, so in the meantime, while we get ready, actually, let me page Diesel.
Yeah, just in case. Oh no, looks like he's good now. But yeah, I think for now, everyone out there in the Twitch space, go grab a drink, go use the washroom. We are gonna go get these runners ready and
Get
stick around
hydrated,
for
folks, because
game
the next
2.
seed is going to be a guaranteed baby, because I'm the one rolling it.
So we'll see you guys in a moment.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to game number 2. This is going to be it. It is do or be donezies time for japezu. So japezu needs to win this game in order to stay in it for a chance to go up against Danny P-Speed. Tixie just needs to take this one, and he will be on to, go against our warden. And whoever doesn't survive this matchup gets to go up against our meme overlord, the one and only mini guy. Oh, Pleco. I'm super duper stoked, but I am scared because that hash is not weird enough for me.
You know, that's fair enough, but I have faith. I have faith in you because we have had games together where you have rolled what you say is going to be a jetty, and then all of a sudden we're stuck in it for 40 minutes. I am hoping for that. I am hoping for absolute chaos. You know, weird reverse world order. Somehow every world has 3 forts. Absolute craziness, and every single 4 to 7 F2. You know,
Oh,
I'm sure
oh,
it can happen.
you
Let's
know
have
what?
this.
They should make a 7F2 only. Oh, they could call that the Crystal Special. I would be so happy with that. And we are starting off with 6 games.
Ooh. Yes, and already a little bit of divergence just because Teeks had sort of hesitated there a little bit looking at the pipes, but does manage to come around as it seems that Small Mario does move a little bit faster. I don't know if that's true or just the fact that he had a better setup for the run, but...
It does. They don't. They say that there isn't a difference, and yeah, you gotta go back and play that fort. So we are starting off strong with the troll fort. Not a good
Ooh.
level for Small Bean, and japezu going downstairs.
Interesting. So immediate divergence here in this level. I do believe, though, that going up above is the faster option. And Teeks would have actually been faster if he didn't lose the star going the opposite way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and look at how tight these jumps are for our runners.
My goodness.
You
The
know, and it's
true
sad that the
neck
star went
angle.
in the wrong direction. So now it's going to come down to Teeks is constantly looking, and we are picking our
Ooh.
beloved 6-6.
You love to see it.
Yes, you love to see it, but you don't love to play it.
100%. Oh, careful there, TXC. Uh-oh. Yeah,
No.
unfortunately, taking a fall there to the blooper.
You know, I think that's why Teeks was kind of looking to see what you have. And right now, that,
Ooh.
that,
Ooh, such a tight spot there for japezu.
yeah. And, you know, when you're going through 6-6 as a small bean, you know, you have to play extra cautious. And
Mm-hmm.
that death is a huge time sink for Tixie.
Well, and thankfully it was early enough in the level. Theoretically, he should be okay, but we already see immediately how much of a cost that can be, especially with japezu falling right at the end. So if TEEX does the same, it is going to be basically it's going to be a very slow world to start us off with.
Yeah, so Teeks does conquer 6-6. Now, the last time I rolled 6-6, following right behind it, I think, was Atlantis, which made our runners go, why?
Oh.
And THM, you know, had lots of thanks, Krista! But we
Ooh,
do
but
have a
he's getting a
cloud.
cloud immediately. So even if it is Atlantis, it might not actually matter. You know, it's a really good level to use your first cloud on, to not worry too much about it.
Now, what if you get 7-5?
You know, I would say I'd play it.
Yeah, because you have played 7-5, whereas other people do not. And, you know, Teeks right now doing some Dora the Exploring, and japezu with the very wise move. And it would be a cursed stage, but I thought it would be Atlantis, but it was 5-9 Pleco.
Well, that's definitely another absolutely perfect cloud level here. And then, of course, into the 1-6 beta. So we are basically starting off into some of the, you know, everyone's favorite levels
Oh,
in this
yeah!
first world.
And
Oh, and does he not have the cloud? Did japezu not grab the cloud? Or is
I
he
thought he
saving it?
fought the bro for the cloud.
Oh, and I see that
Oh no!
head shake on him going, oh no, 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 no.
Yes, but 6-6 right into 5-9. You love to see it.
Oh,
And
it is
speaking of
beautiful.
which, we have a special guest joining us, the one and the only gamer of the people, Leslie Pro, who I rolled a first level 7F2 for. Ah, the memories. It's so much fun, you know, when you run fun levels. So, you know, Leslie got to enjoy Disney World a little bit quicker, and we are in 1-5 with a very non-slightable enemy set.
Yes, very unfortunate to see that, but also at the same time, kind of fun to get that
He,
instantaneous damage. You know, we
wait a
always
second.
love to see these runners
Did
suffer
you
a little
see what japezu had? He had the
bit.
cloud.
So he did have the cloud, but has decided not to use it. So he might actually be saving it for something a little bit fancier.
Which is longer, 5-9 or Atlantis?
Oh, definitely Atlantis. 100%.
But you know, it's just so much fun that you never notice. When you know, Atlantis is the place you go. It's like 7-5. You always go there. But this, oh, I don't know if that was. Ooh, this is going to be a spicy decision by japezu.
Yeah, it really depends on what's coming up. Because if he's able to use that cloud and it actually works out for him, then it definitely was the best idea. But if it turns around and that there's no other really long levels, if Atlantis never shows up, you know, he might not have the best chance with this one.
Or if Teeks gets another cloud.
That's true. If TEEX gets another cloud, but then at the same time, that would also mean that japezu should also be getting a second cloud, and a double cloud play might help him no matter what.
And japezu with the tight jumps, getting through our unslidable enemies. And get a
P-wing on
P-wing.
TEEX's side.
So that's good for 7-6, 7F1. And speaking of Atlantis,
it is.
Here's where japezu is going to catch up.
Very interesting. This was unexpected because we didn't have Atlantis in the previous one. We had, was it 6-6?
It was 6-6 into 8-1 into 8-2.
Mm-hmm. Did not have Atlantis. Did not have 5-9. Did not have, what's another long level that we didn't have last time either?
Well, the blessed levels are 6-6, 7-5, 5-9, Atlantis, you know, and this is power up deficient. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah,
but I swear,
not what you want. Although, worst case scenario, he could just P-wing the rest of this if he had to, you know, take that fall.
So, japezu's going to catch up right now because that was a huge time sink.
Oh, definitely. He is going to see that immediately. Jump out, grab the cloud, and get the heck off.
And right into 7F2. You know what? This is truly a jet seed. This is a baby seed. Yes, I called it.
And you know what? Stars for Days, again, thank you for the Canadian representation here. I am absolutely loving it.
You know, I have to... Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Oh, there we go.
For a second, I thought he was gonna go and like, wait, are you actually doing it? What are you saving the cloud for at this point?
Wait, he did it
again! Interesting. Does he not remember he has the cloud, or does he have some kind of idea that we're not even thinking of?
Okay, maybe he's playing chess and we're playing checkers, but I would have yeeted myself out of that stage happily because actually
I understand what his brain is now. Okay. That's right. That is a perfect thought because he sees that and goes, all right, if I use the cloud. Oh no.
But he's armed with the P-wing. He must have known that it was going to be either 7F1 or 7F2. You know, so good decision making on japezu's side.
So I was thinking that maybe he was choosing not to use the cloud right away because he was thinking, hey, if I finish up this this level, and it turns out that broke the lock to the pipe, I'm screwed if I cloud it. So now he's taking the chance. He's gambling. And he is not going to be happy with the result of that gamble. He is now
surprised that...
Although, if he decides... He could also... Oh, yeah, there's a face thing. He could also choose to take the game over. He is low enough on lives, so he could kind of rip through there a little bit.
He's gonna play it out, and you know, this is what I was saying. I would cloud it, but after finding out that I have to play it, so it is a required Atlantis. Oh, that hurts.
But like I said, he could take the game over, and I would almost think that if he dies one more time, that I would just go for the game overs. Because at that point, you don't have to worry about it. You know, it kind of sucks, you lose your cards, but really in reality, for these runners, it truly doesn't matter.
You know, I'm thinking that if I'm japezu, I don't want to get a game over and do continuing because I'm playing against TEEX. Now, it all depends on who you're playing when you make those decisions. Because to invest an F1, A fort right here. So gatekeeping straight out the gate. We are getting so many blessed levels here.
But I think the idea of the game over would be more under the idea of if he died one more time, he would have been at 1 life. So losing 2 more lives there, right nice and early, would have saved more time, I think, in the long run.
I think just the thought of having to lose said lives because, you know, remember, you have to drop down in water, so that's a little bit of time to do that.
That is
Or
very true. And then yeah, because of the movement as Leslie is dictating here, he missed the other clouds, so now Teeks has an item advantage over top of japezu.
and see, we have Sage Leslie in chat telling us the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think there was any other items that had come out of there, but definitely that cloud would have been really good for japezu to have grabbed because he had to use that cloud.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. I mean, and here's a cloud post everything in the princess letter. You know, you hate to see it, and you know,
I'm pretty
I
sure it was a
kind of.
mushroom, actually.
Oh, it was a mushroom.
Yeah, it was a mushroom, so no cloud there.
How could I mistake a cloud for a trash room for a cloud? Oh my goodness! And Teeks
Little bit of
is, you
paradox
know,
here.
going into and defeating
Ooh.
the Hammer Bros. And I
So our
kind of
hammer
like
now is
this.
pretty good. We still have worlds. Do we have one? No, World 6 is done, World 2 is done. But World
So
3...
3 is there. So if the princess letter, or perchance a rogue Hammer Bro,
Yeah. So there is
if
still the
he doesn't
potential of
get
a double hammer
3
play.
next. Yeah, so if we don't get 3 next, imagine if this would have been, you know, our favorite friend 1-3.
Ooh,
No,
that
that
boss
one was
battle was
played.
trying to catch up there.
Yeah, the boss bass wanted to chomp his biddies. Now, here,
Ooh.
Japezu is dodging the bro fights. And, you know, although it is, he's playing like he's behind, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're item poor right now, too.
That's the
And
hard
these,
part, right? It's do you chance leaving behind clouds just to try and catch up?
I would play one just to see what I get.
Especially the
Because,
one up here. It wasn't a good spot.
yeah, it was right next to him. So, you know,
Oh no.
what happened on the fidget
Oh.
spinners of doom?
I
Because
believe
literally, he only has a fire flower left, Pleco.
it looks like he unfortunately jumped a little too soon off of there during the P speed. Oh, and an eaten input. Oh my goodness. Oh, that
Now,
is definitely not fun. That is a very, very bad feeling.
that is
And
not what Japezu was hoping for.
as Stewie is trying to educate us in the chat here, mentioning that it looks like subpixel shenanigans as per him.
Yeah, you can see the tilt in Japezu's face. Like, I'm looking at it, because when you have shenanigans aplenty, and considering
He's already down a game, so all these, like, anything that's perceived as a mistake, anything that happens is definitely going to start weighing. And that's
okay,
very understandable.
okay, here's my theory on Stewie's subpixel shenanigans. There, Leslie Pro, who's asking Stewie how so. Get your aluminum foil hat on. But I think when you're doing P-speed strats, that you have visual cues that you're supposed to stomp on. And if you stomp even a minute amount off, it can, land on the wrong side of the fidget spinner, and thus you go down the hole.
I actually think I understand what Stewie is saying. So, landing right on the spinner. So the way that he'd fallen off looked like he had no chance of jumping. So it was almost as if, like, in that moment, as the fidget spinner had tilted slightly, he was inside the fidget spinner because of he clipped immediately into it, so he was still on it, but he couldn't basically leave. And as
Oh,
it turned slightly, instead of staying as a solid object, immediately it just let him through, making him unable to jump off of it.
got it.
Because he managed to stay there long enough that it looked like he was going to be able to jump off, but the moment he moved, and
Yeah,
what would have been
I
a
thought
jump,
it
he
was.
just, yeah.
I always thought, when you're doing those particular jumps, like you have to jump in a specific place because if you don't, then you go right down the drain.
Yeah, I'm not
And
entirely sure all the special rules. Like, I know a lot of the any percent, I guess the warpless and 100% runners will know a lot more about this, and that's why I do trust when they come in and tell us that.
oh
But
yes, Stewie's a guru. I mean, hey, I'm still holding out for the Game Genie League, so you know. But I just remember from my vanilla days, that on those fidget spinners, that is an earthquakey windy. From that particular level, if you jump in the wrong spot on the fidget spinner, you just go right down. It's just like it smacks you into the drink.
yeah,
Yeah,
it did
this.
seem that he at least landed just slightly, because there just seemed to be just enough time that he did stay that seemed like he would have been able to jump back off. But I think, again, yeah, as Stewie had mentioned, that he
He
clipped
went
right
through
into
it.
it.
Yeah, he went right through it. And
He
there
was
was no
inside,
hope for.
and as soon as that tilted, that inside turned into just a nothing.
And sneeze and you miss it. World 3, hammer not even really needed. And
Mm-hmm.
let's see what fort we get. And it is World 2 Spike Fort.
So interestingly enough, and I think this is because there is a pipe to the front area. Teeks is opting to choose the back fort instead of the forward fort. I didn't quite get a good look at it, so I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure.
I kind of like this conservative play because he knows his items are looking kind of like Black Friday after the sale is done, and he's gonna try to keep that fire flower.
And it does look like that might have been... No, okay, so I see. So he chose that back fort first. So it did end up working in his favor. We kind of know now which fort is which. But generally, I've seen runners will play the fort right in front of them in their way first, and then go do another fort if they find out that that's what they need.
I guess he knows since this is one of my baby seeds, it's always gonna be shenanigans. So go, backwards first. You gotta respect that.
The other thought
And
might have been that depending on where the lock was in the beginning, he might have been maybe hoping for the close lock to be broken to hammer through. Because as chat did say, that positioning of the lock did make the hammer play impossible. Ooh, and I didn't notice there was a third fort, so that's
yeah, this is a
might
three
have
forter.
been what he was looking for then, is actually to find that where that maybe like bridge or lock was, and just like hammer through and not worry about it.
And even though he is known for this fort, I always call this fort TEEX's Door 3 fort. We are not gonna see him use the Door 3 strat because he knows he is, in a battle with japezu.
Anything could be happening, and if he misses that and they are neck and neck, that basically means that it's japezu's game, but what he doesn't know is he is quite far ahead.
Yeah. Couple of stages there.
Yeah, basically a fort and a stage, potentially some Hammer Bros as well. So, we will see if there is a catch-up moment here, because once again, World 8 will always be that great equalizer. It is anyone's game the moment you get there, so...
Depending upon how long of a World 8 it is, if it's pretty linear, then pretty much you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
And we do see the useless hammer, unfortunately. Not what you want to see, not what you want to grab this late in the game. It will be useless in World 8, and no other worlds anymore. Every other world is basically just hammerless.
Yep. And
I find
don't
too,
you know, Stewie? I always gotta be the person to break everyone's hearts.
I feel, though, that even with the linear World 8, there is still always the chance to fall behind. I mean, depending on what kind of levels there are, it could turn into, hey, does somebody have a cloud over you? Things like that. So there's always the chance, even in a linear World 8, that
if you got a substantive enough lead, goodness, we are in a happy Piranha stage. On TEEX' side. I think if you have, because let's say you are an entire world ahead, which is basically almost what TEEX is. It would take a catastrophic linear World 8 to cause trouble. And, you know, that would be getting like a 6-6, a 5-9 Atlantis, really time-consuming levels that would slow someone down. And execution is horrible. That's pretty much the only way you could, you know, pretty much blow a huge lead. But remember who we're talking about. We have two excellent runners on deck.
So Chad is saying that japezu did get the door 3, and I was just
yes, he did.
If a bridge was noticed in World 7, because I did notice TEEX hunting for these forts, but I didn't personally see anything blocking the forts.
So there was a lock blocking the fort.
Oh, both required. Oh, okay. There, I see it now. I see it. Does need a bridge. So both are required just because of the way that lock was positioned. Basically,
now, here is where japezu can sort of kind of catch up, because this is a multi-pipe Monty.
Yes.
And oh boy, one of my least favorite forts, the one and only 5F2, better known as many things. You got the sauna, potable fort, but you know what I love to call it, Pleco, and that is the lava fort, because it is poop-tastically delicious. And that is a weak boom boom. So TEEX has eliminated both forts. japezu does have his work cut out for him.
Yes, so it really depends on how quickly he can navigate the maze. And I agree with Leslie. It's the don't stop moving for it, because if you stop moving, you are most likely going to get tapped.
Man, I'm gonna stop moving and I'm gonna throw my chest out and tell the Potobos what's good, friend. You know, because Link has the shield, but Mario has his face. And I think that that's better than any old shield possible.
I don't know if I like the idea of Mario blocking fire with his face. Singed mustache does not smell good.
And look at the flyover by TEEX. You know, you love to see it. japezu now going through 3F2. and 8-2. So we
Ooh.
have had many blessed levels: 8-1, 8-2, 6-6, Atlantis. This is truly a baby seat. And I know if
Oh,
Marky
and what
Mark
a
was in
fantastic
the
jump
chat,
there.
Teeks, when I watch Teeks play 8-2, I get heart trouble and I'm amazed at the same time.
It
Because
always just blows my mind.
he throws caution to the wind, power ups to the wind, and the way that he does it is so mind-bogglingly good that you say, whoa. You just say, whoa.
Well, he just seems to know exactly like how far Mario is going to jump. What are the perfect spots to go in and jump, to land, how much jump he needs to do. It's phenomenal just what he can do and how well he
It's
can do it.
kind of good that Tixie did bring his, P-Wing, because that Ludwig had some height there, and
Mm-hmm.
we have the off-screen wand grab. You knew he was going to go for that the minute you saw him equip the
Yes.
P-Wing. And you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it.
And we are
So
almost there. So we are in our last world, and I believe that's what World 1 is now our last one?
absolutely, we are number one, and it is an ugly one.
Yeah, it is not too fun. This could be both forts required depending on how things are going.
Yeah, and this happened yesterday in THM's match as well, where we had World 1 as the final world, in which chat was subjected to hearing me sing, from Lazy Town, the We Are Number One. And it's always a lot of fun to see. And japezu is
Ooh.
playing A2 a little more cautiously.
I'm definitely thinking that he's just maybe a little bit more concerned now about a lot of the power-ups and things that are going on.
Because he is power up poor right now.
He's only got, I guess now 2 power-ups because he just used that star, so...
A flower that he's probably holding on for Casa to Bowser for those 35 bonk bonks on the head. And the
Oh, and
hammer, which is useless.
We found the correct one, so, well, well, well. 7-5 is here. But I
Aww.
believe Teeks does have a
Teeks
cloud
has a
here.
cloud. Yep.
So, yeah, unfortunately, we will not be watching this level, but instead heading off to this one where you can actually grab an item, which makes this level incredibly quick.
You know what? I love his clip in here, but he has the P-Wing, so he's just gonna fly through. But he always, makes
Oh, oh my goodness. If that's the only hammer suit in this, that I think has just
that is
solidified.
the only hammer suit. Oh no,
That may have
japezu.
just solidified everything for Teeks. Unfortunately, of course, once again, 8 can still equalize. There is no guarantee, but
Well,
it is starting to feel like
not
it is
with the
Teeks'
hammer
game to be.
bro. Like, not with the hammer bro suit, because hammer bro is going to beat fire flower any day.
Yes.
I mean, even let's say that japezu gets the first attempt, mac and cheese clip, and Teeks gets a third one. He's still gonna finish just because 5 hammers versus 35 bonk bonks. So
Yeah, no, you are incredibly correct. It would seem that japezu would basically need the one forter like Teeks had last time, and Teeks would need to go to all the wrong forts. Which, speaking
yes,
of, how many bridges?
It's me, folks. Don't have high expectations. You know that three Bridger you saw yesterday. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened.
Because there is no locks here, so there is still a potential for that four bridger. I
Why
am
y'all?
very excited right now for this.
Wait, why
Oh,
are y'all saying
japezu.
four bridges and I'm the one who rolled it? Now, the three people in chat who said four bridges, you all know better. Shame on you. I will never roll a four bridger.
Now, japezu here, unfortunately, has taken a spill twice in this level. I believe the first time was definitely
Missed
a missed
input.
input. The second one I didn't quite catch. I think he jumped into a wrench.
Yeah, japezu at this point is just like, when will it end? You know, this is
Oh,
definitely not
still no
something.
locks. What is going on here?
No! 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 No!
This dream is potentially going to happen.
Uh, and japezu being forced to play our favorite travel destination ever, the one and only
Oh, never mind. The four
7-5.
bridger, unfortunately, is gone, but we do have at least the three bridger. This is still a reality. We could see three bridges, but it's just one. I disagree.
I told you, never depend on me to roll four bridges, three bridges. That don't happen too often. If you get a bridge, you'll be. We consider ourselves lucky.
Like, our hopes were up, and it was phenomenal, and I was very excited for that. So even though our hopes were absolutely destroyed, much like Bowser is about to be on Teeks' end,
But that wasn't the way, so we are still hunting for it.
And to the chat, unfortunately, if Teeks takes this one, that is it. Teeks will be taking home this win and heading off to play against Danny Peacebean.
The Warden versus the Wizard. Ooh, this will be one heck of a matchup because they are two living legends. You know, alongside the human mustard legend that has joined us in chat. So yeah, you have so many legends and they're all here today to watch this, and I'm about to throw my hat. You know how I feel about this level, Niagara Falls, Blacko.
Oh my goodness.
How dare I roll something of peace and tranquility?
And
But
to answer Human Mustard's question, I need to remember where on challenge.
how many rounds after this? Well, Teeks will face. Isn't Teeks versus DLP the be all end all?
No, I'm not too sure. Unfortunately, I have not been as active as I usually am for these kind of things. So I haven't noticed what where we are actually at. But it does seem that we are basically almost done. So after this, we do have the semi-finals, which will be whoever is the winner of this against DLP. And
Oh,
then,
so that's semifinals. Okay.
we do still have one loser's bracket for round 3, which will then go against Higher Flyer. And then from there...
That's the winner of the MIDI versus whoever does not survive the onslaught. And right now,
round 5 will go against the winner of DLP and the winner here, which currently looks like Teeks. So,
That's the winners, right?
yeah, so basically, what it's looking like here is that the winner of the Teeks versus Danny P Speed will go to the finals. The winner of the Losers Round 5, which will be the winner. Um,
A flyer versus
loser
no, not flyer.
of the semifinals and the winner of Losers Round 4. So there is 1, 2, 3, basically 5 more rounds, depending on
Okay.
how things roll. Basically,
Okay.
just as Diesel answered, it is about there.
No, no, Froggy, you did not confuse everyone. It's just that me and Challenge have a love to hate each other relationship.
And for
So,
me, it logged me out, so I couldn't just go and grab. But it looks like Teeks has finished up with an official race time, 37 minutes, 10 seconds, and japezu has unfortunately forfeit. Which means that Teeks will be heading on to face off against Danny P Speed, and japezu will be heading down to go face Midi Guy in the losers bracket.
well, both competitors have extremely challenging opponents that they will face in their next encounter. You have Tixie going up against the Warden himself, and then you have japezu going up against our meme overlord. And speaking of joining us,
yes, it looks like we have TEEX88. Welcome in.
Tixie!
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling after that?
I was feeling a little nervous because, those ended up being some pretty long well, the second one was especially long. And I ended up burning through a lot of Hammer Bros that I didn't end up actually needing, so I was wondering if japezu was able to capitalize on any routing errors that I especially made in Game 2. So I know I played an extra fort in World 4, and I know I took a couple of extra pipes in 6 and 7. But otherwise, I don't think I played too badly. I think the only few deaths that I really took were just from really goofy Hammer Bro patterns and fights and setups, so ultimately they didn't end up being too big a time losses, but I had a couple of things that I was able to really flex on, like the wall jump in 3-9, and having a leaf ready to go for 5-1 to get the hammer suit, and being ready for Fort Knox early on, so...
You played incredibly tightly. japezu had, unfortunately, a couple of bad spots. One of which was when Atlantis popped up. So he decided not to cloud over 5-9 like you did. Oh. So we were expecting him to immediately cloud over Atlantis. So by that time you had finished Atlantis and you were in the fort when he was there. So he's a little bit behind, so we were expecting, oh, he's gonna cloud over, head to the castle. You finish up the castle and we've seen what happened.
Yeah, and that Atlantis was hard required. There was no dodging it.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, and it didn't really offer that many helpful power-ups, and there were quite a few power Goombas in there, and you only get like 2 stars.
Yeah, so you really had to... You got the hammers, which unfortunately all popped up at the worst time. Even with 4, that almost could have been something that you could use the hammer at, just definitely was not... definitely not the world that was going to be used on, and no double hammer plays.
Yeah, I don't think I ended up using any hammers, period, between the 2 games. Like, a double hammer would have really been nice for World 3 in Game 1, but I think I only had 1 in my inventory at the time, and the one that I did get in Game 2, you just couldn't use anywhere. Even World 4 was hidden, but had a second lock behind it, too.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, no matter what, both seeds were just not interested in any kind of hammer play, so neither of you got to use any of the hammers, but the times that it was generous to give out the clouds, you both were able to take quite a good amount of advantage to it, with japezu actually almost taking Game 1 from you originally, but World 8, unfortunately, because you had deviated so much in World 8.
Oh yeah, I heard that it was...
taken it.
Yeah, I heard that in the race time chat that it was like neck and neck between us, and then World 8 is pretty much what determined it.
You
Yes.
built the bridge first, so I believe it was Air Force,
Yes.
that was required. Whereas, unfortunately, japezu chose Gatekeep Fort, which
Um,
is, it's not a short fort to finish, and had to go really look to open up, Air Force for the bridge to be built. In game number two, japezu, you have to say, probably was tilted. And I think Pleco would agree.
Yeah, and there was definitely also a couple really really nasty kind of like nobody's fault sort of falls. He did clip into one of the spinners. I can't remember what level it was, but basically
Oh,
as
the
he was
stage I
coming
called the
down,
fidget spinner of doom stage.
yeah, he hit
Yeah.
the P speed. Ended up hitting one of them a little bit too early, so when he jumped off, missed the next one, even with the P speed. And then the second time in, when he came in, he clipped into the third one before jumping off towards the pipe,
mhm.
and unfortunately just fell right through. Also had a couple really unfortunate falls in Navy, or not Navy, sorry, Air Force in
Air-
game two.
Mm.
So you could definitely see like certain situations where we're just kind of adding up. Still played very well though, like all despite some of those nasty spills. Did
Absolutely.
actually take the door 3
Oh,
and
yeah,
did
he
actually
actually
get it.
nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah, he stole the because I always call that fort, door 6 fort, the Teex's door 3 fort. And he
Yeah.
was the one who did the door 3 strat. But I kind of figured you weren't going to do that because, you know, I was figuring, you're playing against someone like japezu. Do you want to risk potentially not getting it and then falling into the drink, which is going to, be a huge time sink? Or are you going to go straight for Boom Boom? And I figured you're going to go straight to Boom Boom, avoid giving your competitor any time at all, because that's Teak strategy. Go for the jugular. Boop, boop, boop.
Exactly. I know japezu is one of the best randomizer players in the among the Finnish community, so I couldn't really take my chances with him. Even if I miss door 3, it's only like 11 seconds, but against someone as good as him, I know that can be pretty significant. So
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because in the case of game one, if it was neck and neck, you guys, he didn't get his clip, the mac and cheese clip immediately, was having some difficulty. And see,
Mm-hmm.
right there, that's giving someone as dangerous as you some time, which is, pretty much not too beneficial for our Finnish friend. And he was, I think at this point, he was just between the eaten inputs and just really bad RNG. Another lead change for you and him. japezu was ahead of you and had the worst RNG event happen where the Hammer Bros ship decided to block his way, which allowed
Yes.
you to be able to play to the level. I believe this was in World 4, Game 1. And it was just such bad luck. It was just a combination of bad luck and just eating inputs for poor japezu.
Yeah, there was a couple situations I think actually where instead of moving away and allowing him to just like go through, um, the Hammer Bros or a coin ship would just kind of just go right in front, and you know, on your end the coin ship was way off in the corner already, unthought about, living its own little dream life over there so that you can just walk right through.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of interesting RNG situations, I know that in Game 2, World 2, there was those two Ham Bros that were right above the pyramid. I took a death on one of them because of I think it was a shallow water Fire Bro setup. And
Yeah.
yeah, the two bros ended up switching, and then fortunately, the one that had the cloud didn't go west past the 2-4 panel, so yeah, I was able
Yes.
to.
So you got to dodge, and you got to dodge in the beginning. It was like a smart move. You got to avoid some of our favorite levels, but it was a wise play. You only had to. It was great seeing it. But the biggest question is, are you ready for your match against our warden, Danny P. Speed?
It's like a recurring saga every year where I get to face Danny P. Speed, and it's always a really exhilarating opportunity. So, and I know that he really brushes up on his skills month to month and really investigates new ideas for P. Speed strats. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has to offer for these next couple of races, and maybe I'll be taking some notes in the background, really get to know his thought process a little bit more. But yeah, I'm really impressed with how incredibly good Danny P. Speed is, and I'm really looking forward to this upcoming race.
Yes, it is going to be one heck of a match, and definitely one that nobody will want to miss.
Yep, absolutely. So, I know that most of us probably have things to do on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Pleco, how about we wrap it up so people can go out there, or better yet, watch some of the other speed gaming channels where they have more speed gaming live on right now with all these tournaments. So, do you have any last words, Teexy?
I do act, as a matter of fact. I want to give a personal thank you to japezu and to Danny P. Speed for their patience and understanding. I know that there was a big gap in our scheduling between my match with True Hyper Mario and with japezu, because I actually gone on a week-long vacation. I just got in last night, but Ikaros and I were in Europe for about a week. We were spending some time in Madrid and Rome, so I'm still dealing a little bit with the jet lag. But yeah, I was able to catch up on a good amount of sleep last night, and I'm glad that in spite of the time conflicts, and I know that there's time zone differences between japezu and I, that we were able to make this happen. So. Big thank you to them again for understanding, and my apologies for the long delay in the progression of the bracket. And big thank you to you, Krista Joy and Pleco, for the commentaries this afternoon. It's been a really fun match.
Aw, thank you so much. And I guess I'll give my last words. Thank you and GG's to all of our runners. They always show how much they are the true legends of the game. japezu, he will be facing Midi Guy, and we have TEEX88 that's going to be facing up against the Warden, Danny P. Speed. Thank you to chat for being here to help us along. Without your love and support, we wouldn't be here. And we would love to have you join us in the Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer community. If, we have more events coming, and we do, because SMB3R is where it's at. We have weeklies. So come on and join us and enjoy lots of fun in our community. And to both TEEX88 and Ikaros, I'm glad you enjoyed your vacation, and I welcome you back wholeheartedly. Thank you to Speedgaming for having us here, and for Pleco and Diesel, who put together the backstage action. Without Pleco, we would not be here today.
Well, that's not entirely true. Diesel would have gotten us, but...
Well, Diesel's, he's on work stuff. So he may be having that 3 bar 3G type internet, but we know Diesel is always where it is at as well. But you did set up everything, Pleco, and that is to be commended for. And I thank you wholeheartedly. So that's all I have to say. And you guys have a wonderful day.
what I'm gonna say is just that if you are interested in some more randomizer activity, checking out speedgaming.org/schedule. We do have on this channel coming up the Pokemon Crystal Co-op Rando 2024. If you're gonna check out Speedgaming 1, recently it just started off the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament, and as well over on Speedgaming 6, Metroid Prime CGC Weekly is happening as well. And of course, you can check out more events from us as they pop up for the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer community. Hopping in our Discord, I believe the link was posted in chat, but if not, you can definitely poke one of us. We will always help you. And thank you so much, Krista, for being here with me, and to TEEX and japezu for being our fantastic runners this afternoon. And thank you to everyone at home. And that's all for me.
Oh yeah, we got to make sure to tell them to give our runners a big fat follow so they can give you more entertainment than you can handle.
Just thank you to everyone, and have yourself a fantastic day, and we will see you next time on Speed Gaming with some more Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer.
Have a great Sunday. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.